Start streaming. Start streaming.
Wondering what's
Stream.
new? No.
Okay, we are streaming. We are live.
Oh, wait. I can't use this lower third with you. I forgot.
Well, if you want to put it back up, I can try it again because I did some tweaking.
That's right. I'll just switch to green.
Oh, man. Oh.
Ah.
Such heartburn. Heartburn.
There we go.
Who would have thought chicken gravy would cause heartburn? Yeah, you know it's bad when my 11-year-old son, when I picked him up from daycare, as soon as he sat back in the car, first thing he did was, burn. I said, dude, was that your butt? He said, yeah. He said, but but I feel funny. I'm like, what do you mean you feel funny? You know, scared. What do you mean you feel funny? He said, well, I burped a little bit too, and it like bubbled, and it tasted horrible. And I'm thinking to myself, you're 11 years old, and it sounds like you have acid reflux, gas, whatever. So I asked him what he had for lunch today. He said, well, it was like a chicken nugget, but it was the size of a burger. And there was bread. I'm thinking to myself, I think you have acid reflux, like gas. Like, you're 11, dude. You ain't supposed to have that. So then he got mad. I wouldn't let him have Chef Boyardee pasta for dinner.
My middle child will only eat nachos and crackers.
Nachos?
Let me go turn the furnace off just a second.
Not together, but those are the two things that she will eat: nachos and crackers.
Brown and brown. Yeah, I've slowly realized my kids love brown food. If it's brown, they're all over it. Any other color, they're a little suspect. Red can pass once in a while. Like, my youngest one loves salsa. He'll take the chips and salsa. He'll go for like an hour straight, just dipping. And not hot salsa, but not mild salsa either. He loves when it's like medium. Which blows me away. I'm thinking, you're a kid. I thought you would hate that crap.
My oldest, when she was 2, would just sit down and just like drink the salsa at a restaurant. We were out with some friends recently at a restaurant, and the kids were munching on salsa and jalapenos, and one of the neighbor kids was like, "Can I have one of those, Mama? Are they hot?" And Amelia, my middle one, said, "No, it's like eating a pickle." And so she went over to pick one up, and her mom stopped her and said, "They're from Texas, honey. They don't count."
That's good.
That's gold.
She said, "What they say is a pickle, you say would put your mouth on fire." So
yeah,
no. But it's true, we started them out on jalapenos at 18 months old.
Right. I can picture the other kids screaming, "Mama, mama, mama!"
I mean, most people at their house have salt and black pepper. On my table, it's salt, black pepper, and cayenne pepper. That's the third condiment.
No, Texas Pete or I can't remember the other one.
Frank's.
Yeah, Frank's, and then Tracy in Texas loves. I can't remember what it's called. One of them, one of the hot sauces. We were at
Sriracha.
Well, he loves that stuff too. But when we were in Massachusetts, we went to a pizza place and he asked for hot sauce. He said, "By any chance, do you guys?" He said, "I know it's a stupid question, but is there any chance you have hot sauce?" The lady came out with a little cup like this and had a bottle right in her hand, and he said, "Oh, it's a miracle!" And she just went bump, 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 and just kept dumping it in the cup, and he just sat there like a little kid. And he literally left like a $20 tip. He was so happy. I could smell the hot sauce, though. It was, oh man, potent.
That's the thing. When I came here to Georgia, we'd go to have Mexican food, and I guess it probably is more Mexican food, but it's definitely not Texican food. I would eat their version of a burrito, and I'm like, where's the flavor? Where's the spices? Where's the anything? This is meat and tortilla.
Right. A little bit of rice. Okay. Hey, you guys got your Audacity up and running, please?
Ready to go, boss.
What gosh.
Go ahead and hit record in 3, 2, 1. Record.
Oh wait. I'm not. Yeah, I'm ready.
West Virginia. Pistachio
West
nut.
Virginia. Your name ain't Fred.
Those are two of my favorite lines from Roger Ramjet, my favorite cartoon.
Okay. 428. Alex from Germany. In the chat. I'm pretty sure it is the Alex I forgot to mention last week. And me and my wife, I kept going back and forth how to pronounce his last name. I believe it was S-E-I-M, Seems, and I was thinking Seems. I don't know. Me not very, worldly. Okay. Little streamy thingy, recordy thingy.
All right, here we go. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Android App Addicts, episode number 428, the show where we talk about Android apps, Android phones, Android hardware, smart Android TVs, and whatever else happens to strike our fancy at the time. My name is Mark, sometimes known as the Sultan of the Soapbox. I am your host this evening, along with your friends and mine, the DoorToDoorGeek, Mr. Steve McLaughlin, and Eric, who's reminded me he wants to be called the manager again, Arduini. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, Mark. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Yep. Mark, I'm thinking we should call him the executive manager or the manager of executives, maybe?
Maybe the CEO.
CEO.
The chief. Hail to the chief.
The executive to the manager.
Executive to the manager of the chief of the.
How about the executioner? That sounds really cool.
Oh, that's better.
I am certified. I don't know if that helps.
I'm certifiable.
I have lots of certifications. Which one are we talking about?
Well, I'm a certified municipal clerk.
Oh.
Hey, in May I'm going to be a part of the Athenian Leadership Fellowship. The Athenian Leader, I don't know, something like that. I'm going to be an Athenian Leadership Fellow.
I have literally no idea what you're talking about. I will say I know I've actually been to Crownsville, technically against my will, but since it's closed now, I guess it really doesn't mean anything to anybody.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Crownsville? Is that like where the kings and queens lived and kept their hats?
It's where the quote-unquote real life Hannibal Lecter, Ed Gein, spent his last days.
Mm. Did you get certified while you're there?
Oh, I got certifiable, yes. But that was years ago. Things were different.
Did you have some fava beans and a nice Chianti while you were there?
I had a lot of questions. I remember that. They wanted to ask a whole lot of questions. I got really sleepy. Then I just took a nap.
All righty. What a weird show intro. I don't even know where to go from that. And either you guys, we've talked about hardware in the past. Any of you guys got any new hardware, or anything exciting?
I got a USB Wi-Fi dongle the other day. I'm still waiting for my Western Digital Pi drive to show up. I don't have that yet.
Yeah, the 314 gigabyte drive for $31.48.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got a new cover for my truck, a car cover for my truck.
Does it have a picture of an Android on it?
No.
And I don't see how it's relevant.
Yeah, it's really okay, Eric, to just say no. It really is.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Good point. I got a USB-C cord in the mail today that is exactly as long as this one I was trying to replace it with because it was too short.
Nice.
Yep.
Awesome. I'm still messing around with the Odroid C2. I did load Android on it. I was very impressed at how it ran, but I'm back on Diet Pie just because it runs so damn good as a desktop. The only other thing I have that could run Android, um, I got my Pi Top Indiegogo laptop, um, but half of the keys on the keyboard don't work, so I had to fill out a thing to get my keyboard replaced. But it technically works, and it's a little bit big, and you can put a Raspberry Pi in it and carry it around like a laptop. Supposedly 10 hours of battery life.
Could you use a wireless keyboard with it? Would it work?
Yes, but it's ridiculously self-defeating if I do that. And
I'm just wondering to get it, moving.
and it will literally compound my aggravation to the point of I'm just leaving it sit there collecting dust until I get my replacement keyboard. And then I'm going to put a Odroid C2 inside of it. And it literally could be my portable Android / gaming rig because you can play a fair amount of games on there, or my desktop like replacement OS for on the go.
So Roku announced their new Roku stick. I don't remember if it was just announced or released, but one of those happened this week. It was the craziest thing. It was Roku stick now with a quad-core processor. No new features, just better processor. Why do you really need that for something that just streams anyway? It's not like it does any number crunching.
Well, the old Roku stick was uncommonly slow interface, and I believe because of the processor was the I don't want to say excuse reason, but it was the reason why they said you could not stream in the highest of quality. You could stream in good quality, but the interface was very methodically slow compared to the normal Roku experience. So bumping that up, I think, is good.
So I have the original Roku one. That's all I have, and I do miss the Netflix interface, for example, is the old style interface. Doesn't support profiles, but for the most part, it just works. And I think where Roku and a lot of these other companies, handset manufacturers, not quite so much, but these appliance based things, they sell you exactly one. People aren't upgrading every few years because there's no reason to, and you can throw another core at it, but it doesn't really seem to matter. With phones, at least they get worn out. You break them, they show something. So people buy a new phone every few years, but like an Apple TV, those things haven't been updated in years, and there's no reason for it. And I think Roku is just kind of running into that situation. Amazon with their Fire Stick too, they sell everybody in the country exactly one, and then what?
Well, Amazon added a microphone to their remote.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, do you really buy a whole new device for that one thing? I mean, I don't think most people will. The only reason I could see someone buying a new device is literally they got a new TV in a new room of their house. Two, buy it as a gift for a family member, friend, brother, sister. You'll really enjoy this. Here you go. Or you literally like got a bonus and you don't know what to do with your money.
It's funny. I've got a couple of Pis, a couple of Android boxes. Each of them cost me more than a Roku and can do less than a Roku. But I do it because it's for the hobby aspect of it. So I've got Pis laying all over the place and Android boxes all over the place, just because I buy them periodically at $30 and $40. They're relatively disposable. But I'm definitely not the regular person. Do you think it's the guys like us that are actually keeping the whole industry afloat? The 1%ers who buy several of them?
To a large degree, I would say yes.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm literally waiting to find a good deal on a TV that I can put over there, just so when I'm done podcasting and I'm waiting for something to transcode or whatever, I can just turn over there and look at the TV. And I've been literally back and forth 50 times with what I'm going to connect to the TV. Because like you said, the Roku experience is so streamlined, almost nothing can compete with how simple it works. But is that what I want to do, or do I want to get nerdy and try to connect something more fancy. I don't know.
I gave away my Roku to my niece because I got the Chromecast and I ran out of TVs. I've only got 3 TVs, and I got an Xbox hooked to one of them, and Amazon Fire Stick hooked to one of them, and then I had the Roku. And when I got the Chromecast, I'm like, well, I think I'll get rid of the oldest piece of machinery here. And I've never looked back. I mean, I got the same Roku you had. I found it really slow. I never was really patient enough with it. I didn't like the slowness of it.
I guess it's slow, but I mean, how fast does it need to be to scroll through a list of movies? It's fine. I mean, it's not like it takes a minute to move to the next frame. It's a second and a half at the most.
Yeah, I don't know. I just never. I think maybe the Amazon Stick kind of spoiled me. That thing flies through some menus and stuff nice and quickly. I really like the Amazon Stick. And I'm not missing anything that I can remember. It's been over a year and a half, maybe 2 years since I got rid of my Roku. So I don't know exactly.
Roku is really the only one that has all the services. It's got Plex, it's got Amazon, it's got YouTube, it's got all those other, and as far as I know, they're the only ones. They've paid the licensing fees, I guess, because even the Amazon Stick doesn't have some of those things to it, and there's no real performance boost to it, and no real price difference. It amazes me that how they're selling any at all. Why isn't the Roku just the dominant thing, hands down?
I
Pub,
I don't know.
publicity? I don't know.
I like the Stick better than I liked the Roku, and I had the Roku for a long time.
Yeah, but you're comparing like Gen 3 to Gen 1 there. So you can't really compare the platforms.
Right, yeah.
Well,
And
I'll say the Roku can do everything. With that said, the Roku does virtually nothing that I want to do most of the time easily, because most of the time what I want to do is literally just YouTube videos or something to that effect. I don't want to watch Hulu. I don't want to watch Amazon videos. I don't know about you, but when I look at Amazon videos, I don't really see a whole lot to watch except for Star Trek: The Next Generation. Hulu, I think I'd rather put a hole in my foot than watch that. Netflix.
The kids use Amazon YouTube all the time on our Netflix. It's their primary, or Roku. It's their primary device. So it works well.
I know on the Roku that we have upstairs, the YouTube interface I see is very poor compared to, well, it's just because I'm now suckered into the desktop experience of clicking the 3 dots, clicking, ignore this video, and then tell me why. I've already seen it. Take it out of my recommendations.
Yeah, I think maybe the reason that we see a different experience there is particularly in the kids, they have Android tablets and they're just casting to it. So they'll find what they want on their tablets and then cast to it. So we're not searching with the stick.
Yeah. So
So
you're
I
using
guess
like a
that's why.
Chromecast.
Right, for YouTube, yes.
Yeah, now
That's
that I could do.
yeah. Definitely.
Wow, I really took us down a tangent there.
Well, casting wasn't even a thing on a Roku the last time I used a Roku. So that may add a lot to it.
Well, the Roku
honestly.
One is a cast device.
But it wasn't when I got rid of it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't have enough TVs for one, but I wouldn't mind, checking it out. It's the one thing I don't have, so.
It struck me as funny that you said, I only have 3 TVs. What a 1%er you are. You are what Bernie Sanders complains about. I only have 3 TVs.
Well, I compare myself to people around me. They have more than 3.
I have 2.
Do you? Okay. So I am bad. I am a 1%er.
I think I have 3 as well. Yeah. Living room, bedroom, and 1 in my kid's bedroom.
I have, for a number of reasons, I have refused to put a TV in my kids' room, not for content reasons, because they have the internet and there's way worse stuff there, but just because you pay out the nose for this portal that, doesn't really serve any purpose. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Whether it's cable or satellite or anything, you end up paying minimum $10 a month, in my experience, to get the digital signal to another wall just because.
Yeah, and it's second-rate content for what the kid wants.
Right. TV is it's so yesterday.
I don't have one in my living room though. For some reason I don't have a TV there. I've got one in the kitchen though.
That's fine.
Kitchen, bedroom, and basement.
Well, how about that Star Wars trailer today? Sorry, that's another tangent.
I didn't watch it yet, but it sounds like it's. I can watch it real quick right now if you want. Let's see.
I did watch the Honest trailer. That was funny.
The Honest trailer of the new one
Of Star Trek 7. Star Wars 7. I'm gonna get somebody's now writing an angry email at this very moment.
You know it. I'll say the new Star Wars movie. I'm excited and amped for it because oh God, what's his name is in it? I can't remember the guy's name. Extremely unattractive guy. One eye a little bit off. Oh man. And the reason I like him is he doesn't look perfect. I like him because I don't look perfect either. So I feel like we have a connection he doesn't even know about. But there's but it's before episode 4, after episode 3. There's no Jedi because they're all dead, except for, of course, Obi-Wan and Yoda. So there's gonna be no Jedis in the movie. So we'll have to wait and just watch it and experience the drama of non-force powered people. Sounds boring.
So how soon is that coming out?
Oh, not till I think December. Months at least. Months away. I know that.
And that's not episode 8 then.
No, it's Rogue something. Rogue Squadron, Rogue Theory, Rogue Pillar, Rogue Destiny, Rogue
Movie,
Attack, Rogue Envoy, Rogue Investigation, something Rogue. I don't know.
So it's like Star Wars 6.5.
No, 3.4.
Oh, okay.
Or 3.5. 3.5.
Star Wars Rogue Warrior.
Well,
Yeah.
if it's okay. Anyway, I don't want to go down too far on the Star Wars tangent because that could become a whole episode
or a whole series of episodes.
So I'll start with an email from Philip Keemer, who says, "Hello, fellow Android addicts. Just sharing an app that I found via the new XDA Labs app. The XDA Lab is basically a portal that get apps that are developed by the XDA community, as well as a portal to the XDA blogs and forums. The drawing card is that there are a lot of apps that will not make it to the Play Store, as they will not sit right with the terms and conditions of the Play Store. This is particularly the case for the exposed modules that alter the behavior of some other apps in the store. Anyhow, one gem I found is Tugga Browser, which is a lot quicker than Chrome, but I guess that is not hard to do. And it's also based on the open source Chromium and optimized for ARM-based phones. So it has all the advantages of the Chrome browser, but a lot quicker. Sorry, no link other than via the XDA Labs app. It also has night mode that renders most pages as white text on black background, which is a reading preference for me. Using this in conjunction with Chromer has made my browsing a lot better on the phone, and I can use the rendering engine from Tugga Browser. Thanks for the great podcast, feeding my addiction. I think he meant addiction. Battery 100%. Cheers, Phil."
So I'm sorry. Was that Tugga Power Browser?
Tugga Browser is what he has. TGA Browser.
I'm gonna believe that the Tugga Power ROM was the original thing, and then the browser they pulled it off of that ROM and they have it as a separate app. That's what I'm gonna believe.
He then follows up with it. He says, "Just a quick update. Apparently, Tugga Browser is not the only fork of Chromium on the XDA Labs app. There are other ones too, so it's worth trying others just to see what suits you. My ROM is CAF optimized, so Tugga works really well, but otherwise forks don't have the CAF optimization, so they may be better for other devices / ROMs." I don't know what that means. CAF? Any idea?
Flora, Levi. I don't know. I put a link in the chat, xda-developers.com/xda-labs. It's an APK file. You have to download and install. And what I don't understand is why they don't have the whole catalog public facing on the public internet, and then at and then instead of having a download or install link, you have a link to get the Labs APK and install it on your Android device. This to me seems like a very, very poor job of marketing, advertising, or uh, to me, um, uh, for XDA. And I'll say to me, I'm sure there's great apps in this app, and I'm sure great apps are going to come out of this Labs. XDA, there's something that always rubbed me just a little bit of the wrong way, something a little bit too arrogant and cocky about XDA themselves. Um, so I'm always a little bit wary of them. With that said, I have to install this app and I have to check out the apps because my guess is there's going to be some really cool ones here. Hopefully they grow up and then come to the Play Store later in their existence.
Now the CAF CAF Chromium was in the Play Store for a short time, and now it's not. And CAF stands for Code Aurora Forum, which is maintained by the Linux Foundation, and is where Qualcomm releases the reference sources for their various platforms. 5 months ago, it was in the Play Store, and for whatever reason, it's not. It's currently.
Back to your comments before Eric's excellent Google food there, Dor. I think that the XDA forums largely don't want things to be super easy to find because a lot of their stuff can blow up your phone, and so they kind of make you want to search for it because then you're at least taking responsibility for it. Having the XDA app is really, it's kind of surprising to me that they have an app that pulls things off of their forum, because anytime I've been there, which is often, there's all kinds of disclaimers: use at your own risk. If it makes your hair fall out, it's not our fault. And if you just put all that stuff just public facing, here's a directory, then you'd have your grandma trying to do it, and bad things could ensue.
Yeah, I mean, I got no problem right now putting money on the line. $100. 99% of these apps in this market are going to be completely benign. They just want to keep them out of. My logic is, because we all know the beta experience in the Google Play Store sucks for everybody, including developers. I will say this is probably a pristine beta environment because you only have the higher educated people. You can literally learn a lot from your users from this app environment ecosystem, but it's also difficult to join. You literally have to pass the initiation rites and go paintball old man McLaughlin's house in order to be with the in crowd with XDA. So, yeah.
So I guess we'll call that app the XDA app. That's both an email and an app. Eric, have you got an app to start us off with?
Well, I'm following right along with that because a couple weeks ago, someone else had mentioned another app that was in the XDA, and I downloaded this one. It's called Tap Out, and I don't have a link to help you out with. I was hoping that email would come back up, but
I've got it. I was actually just about to read it.
Oh, okay. You want to read that one?
Sure.
Kind of goes along with that previous one.
It's here we go, from Milos. I'm going with that. Hi guys, recently my small app has managed to reach 1,000 downloads without any marketing apart from good old word of mouth. I posted this achievement on Reddit, quite happy with the fact that a lone developer like myself can reach 1,000 different people from all over the world with basically zero budget. The response there was amazing, and it seems people in both r/Android and r/Android gaming subs really liked the app. One of those folks told me to contact you guys in order to get my app on your show. In reality, I'm not quite one of those people who would do such a thing, but after a brief conversation with a couple of other Reddit users, I was convinced that I should share my app with you guys, especially since your show supports a lot of indie developers. Well, here goes nothing. This is the link to the app, and I just put it in the show notes, and it'll be in the chat room, and it'll be in the show notes. I hope you guys like it, and I hope you have fun with it, regardless of whether or not you present it on your show. Thanks a ton. Cheers from Sweden.
Okay, so Tap Out, it is a fun game. Basically, you've got a grid of colored dots, and at the top it has one colored dot, and all you do is you tap the color that's at the top in a certain amount of time. Don't tap the other colors, only tap the one. Like right now, there's a blue at the top. You need to tap all the blue ones. and then the screen clears, and now you need to tap all the red ones.
Okay, well, first off, there is no video in the Google Play Store, which means it must be a fantastic game.
Oh, this one was in the Play Store? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
It is.
I was thinking it wasn't.
It's got 1,000 to 5,000 installs. Updated May 2015, so it's been there a while. $99 per item in-app purchases, so you can purchase something.
Oh, okay. This one's got a totally different logo or icon than what I have.
It's just a
Maybe that's
circle.
why. Yeah, the one I have is a bunch of circles. So it's a screen. Oh, that's weird. Okay, no, that definitely is the same app though. Okay, I just didn't recognize it.
Well, and in the store, you can see by paying, I believe it is British pounds. It looks like 120 will remove the ads. So my guess is that's what you're going to pay for with the in-app purchase is just 99 cents to get rid of the ads, which I'm very very okay with doing that.
I guess we've got that category of standing in line games. This would be a good one for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's to me a very good-looking one-handed game.
Kudos on not putting a video in.
Yeah, because it just draws the attention. Yeah, I will say we are, I think, one of those shows. We have no biases. We'll bring anything. Why not? Can't hurt. And whoever told you in Reddit to bring it to the show, I want to thank that person, that mysterious person, whoever that person is. I want to thank them very much because this is the kind of stuff I'd much rather get contacted by than people sending me form emails about exciting new epic adventures. Because I get a couple of them a week and they're all garbage.
Yeah, I notice your blog doesn't have any CEO optimization or SEO optimization. I can help you get to the first page rank in Google. That's what I get a lot of.
Exactly, them too.
Mhm.
All right, Dor, what's your first app of the evening?
Okay, let me just do a quick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm not going to bring a game as my first one. That's my goal to first get other apps out of the way. A lot of people, the word I'm going to use is besmirched. A lot of people got besmirched by Push Bullet changing their model midstream, removing features from the free version, switching it over to the paid version. Um, so I've been asked by more than a couple people to try to find a alternate for Push Bullet. This mixes a couple different things together that I think is really nice, really cool. You never have to create an account, number one, if you want to, or you can create an account. It's a little bit easier to keep track of things when you do create an account. I will not vouch any level of security on this app, but I will say don't share extremely sensitive things through this app. Just like you should not be pushing your social security number through Push Bullet. Just saying. It's very easy to send or receive files or links, text, audio, video from either device to device or from person to person. When I share something, I can share it out with a 6-digit code and it will exist in that share for 24 hours. So if I want to send something to Mark without having to upload it to Google Drive or Dropbox or send it via email or something else, I can come into here, just click it, hit send Mark that code through a web interface, iOS or Android. He can go and retrieve the file, pull it down anytime that 24-hour. And of course, if you want, you can use a QR code in its place.
What's the name of this app?
It's called Send Anywhere File Transfer by EST Mob Inc. E for everyone, completely free. 61,000 reviews, between 1 million and 5 million installs. So this is not some early bird. The current version is 6.2.26. So this thing has definitely been around a while.
Hey, so the other person has to have this installed to get your file?
No, you can
No.
do it from a web browser if you want. So you can do it as a one-off to a desktop web browser or a mobile web browser. If you have the app, it's just easier to keep track of your history.
Hmm. Yeah, that's it. Could be very handy.
Yeah, and to be honest, I was sharing files back and forth from my computer to my phone, phone to computer, sending bits of text back and forth, phone numbers and stuff, and it just works really easy, near instantaneous from what I could tell. Just works nice.
Anything that ends with just works is a good thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think there's a reason why it has 63,000 reviews, and of that, 50,000 plus is 5 stars.
Hmm.
Cool. So 1 million to 5 million installs. So it's been around a while.
Yeah, and this is the first I heard of it.
Okay, Eric, since you sort of had your thunder stolen from the last email I read, why don't you go ahead and go next?
Okay. This one is a timely app, just because it's an update today to an app. And um, the comments, I don't know what happened. I don't know. This app came out. It's Samsung push service. I'm not recommending anybody install it. But for whatever reason, the comments section on this app blew up today. And if anybody wants to check it out, just go to it's in the Google Play Store. I actually installed it just so I wouldn't forget. I will uninstall it as soon as the show's over, but it's Samsung push service, and read the comments on this app. Um, 5-star reviews, 265,178 now, and people are finding just unbelievable things that this app is doing for them. Um, it's changing people's lives from what I'm reading in here.
Best app ever. This is clearly the best app ever. After installing this app, I saved 3 dogs, 2 kittens, 4 hamsters from a burning house while my clothes were on fire. Immediately after that, the most beautiful woman in the entire world who was outside watching me save the cats and dogs and hamsters from the burning house immediately brought me to her house, made love to me for hours on end, and agreed to marry me. So, yes, this app is definitely a must have lifesaver.
Life can be so much easier. This app should be everywhere in supermarkets to help you with the trolley, in parks for the swings and roundabouts, and definitely in hospitals for expecting mothers. Even the mission to Mars would be easier with an extra push. Get this app in your life. So, yeah, so just tons and tons and tons of reviews today on this app. And I just had to bring it to the show because I love it when something like this happens.
They're not all positive, though. David Fisher says, can't get it to work. I don't understand why this doesn't work for me. I put the phone next to a door and nothing. Tried to call an elevator, but none of the buttons lit up. I had to push them manually. I've read other reviews from people saying it works the first time for them every time. Why can't I get it to work? I can't find any guides to this at all, so I don't know if there's something else that needs to be enabled. Maybe there's something else that needs to be pushed.
Yeah, well, you can't win them all, but there's a lot of people loving this app today.
I love it when that happens on Amazon.
Yeah, yeah, there's some good ones on there too.
It's the first
Or
time I've
when
seen it in the Android store, though.
or when somebody asks for Photoshop help with a picture. That's always a good one too.
Awesome, good stuff. Let me see if I've got another email for us to read. How about Todd Evans, who writes about an app called Descripix? Hi, guys. I recently came across an app called Descripix. It allows you to annotate pictures and share them with others that have the app installed. The text below was generated by the app when I chose to send the picture. I created an example image. Of course, one of you fine gentlemen would have to install the app for this to recur. Um, Says this message was sent by the Descripix app. And then he goes on to say, initially, I was unsure how this app could be useful for a casual user. As I experimented, it became more interesting. I found it could be useful when sharing pictures of homes in our search for a new house. I could note specific aspects of the interior or exterior or interior that caught my eye. I could also share with my brother a picture of a cabinet I built and note the particularly tricky miter joint location. I could even include a decent description of the cabinet in the text option that doesn't cover the entire picture in the text. I hope that some listeners may find this app useful, but the more I use it, the more useful I find it being. Keep up the great shows.
How's that spelled, Mark?
DESCRIPIX. I'll paste the link in the.
And I installed it and checked out his photo that he had marked up for us, and I can't off the top of my head think of a use for it, but yeah, for pointing out like details in a picture of something small, like you're trying to explain to Door what's broke on this thing I got in front of me, that it could really help for something like that.
So I just want to take us on a brief aside. He mentioned buying a house. I am in the purchase of processing, in the process of trying to purchase a house, and I did what I believe any reasonable geek would do. I created a spreadsheet for weighing the relative virtues of a house. So we have each of the various metrics, garage, fenced yard, the school rating, does it have a basement? Is it a finished basement or an unfinished basement? Is it a private pool or access to a public pool? All these things, and then they're weighted. So if it's got a pool, that's worth 5 points. If it's got 1 point for every bathroom, 2 points for every bedroom. If it's a large, and so this seemed to me to be the most natural thing to do. So I
20
plugged
points
into
for
this.
fiber to the home.
Well, that's on the list. Yeah. So I have 27 different metrics, each one assigned a value point based on how important we think they all are. And I add all those up and I call that the attractiveness score. And then I divide the cost of the house by the attractiveness score. And I call that the cost per value. So how much are we paying for each one of those points? And it just seemed to me to be the perfectly reasonable thing to do. And I showed it to somebody at work today, and her response was, "You're insane."
Mark,
And so I just thought I'd bring it here. What do you think?
Mark, I laugh because because I know you. I've listened to you for so long. This is like the 6th or 7th time I've heard you say, "So I made a
So I
spreadsheet."
made a spreadsheet.
And then you go through the metrics that are involved, the calculations that are involved, and the weighting scale this month. So I knew exactly where you were going. I applaud your effort. Is the first thing I gotta say. I really do applaud your effort. You're lazy. Sorry, that was me. I'm lazy. What I do is I just install the app. Now it's a Home Snap is the one I used. And it seems to be the best right now, where I just walk up to a house, I point it to a house, I look at the house, I look at what it says about the house, and then I immediately just pure feeling judgment call. I'm never going to look at this house again, or maybe I should send this to the wife. And that's my spreadsheet. It's in my head. The values are purely judgmental, and there's no actual algorithm that goes into figuring anything out. You have some reasonable level of expectation of when you make your decision, you're going to be very assured in your choices, or you're going to spend the next 20 years of your life telling your wife, I know we should have gotten that house I know we should have gotten that house. It was so much better. It had 10 more points.
Well, the way I'm looking at it is it's not the decision maker. We don't well, this one scored a 497. It's the highest one. We got to buy that one. But it drives us in the right direction, because these are the things that we've said that we feel are important. But it's easy to get bamboozled when you walk up to a house and, oh, the potted plants are nice. Oh, and there's a porch swing on it that's really pleasant. And look at that neighborhood. Oh, there's a fire hydrant right there. That's good. And so you get emotional and you go back and you think, this is the best house ever. I'm ready to sign a contract.
Yeah.
You run the numbers on it, and it's like the 17th ranked out of 20 that you've done. And so it's just an idea there of do we really think what we say we think? And so the reason I bring it up was he mentioned the home bank thing, but it just seemed to me like it was the perfectly normal thing to do. I'm finding that apparently it's not so normal after all.
Well, no. I think if more people had the wherewithal and the gumption, dare I say, they would do something like this. But most people just don't have it in them. They don't have the I don't know, the ability to just stick with it and follow it out, because there's no doubt in my mind what you're doing is setting a like judgment call. It's another just thing to look at to rate, which is good, because this is a very important decision, Mark. And with the more important of a decision, the more you want to have another level of confidence that you can put on it.
I first started this 20 something years ago when I bought my first car that didn't require a tow truck. And so when I'm looking at, real cars, there's all these features, right? There's, do I want a standard or an automatic? Do I want the, back in the late 90s, speed sensitive stereo was the big thing. The faster you go, the louder it gets. So I thought, well, we're just losing track of all these. How are you going to compare, a Chevy sedan and a GMC Jeep, or a Bronco and all these things? How are you going to compare? They're so different. So naturally, a spreadsheet was the way to go. And you put all these things down, and you rank them. This is important to me, and it's easy to filter. Show me everything that doesn't, delete everything that doesn't have leather seats. All right, gone. So it just seemed the most rational thing for me to do, and I've been doing that for 20 years now. And admittedly, I'm kind of obsessed with spreadsheets in general,
Mhm.
but it's just it's pure math. You can't
Okay,
go wrong with math.
I'm calling you out. You might have only been actively doing this for 20 years, but I know in your head, you've been doing this your entire life because you're the guy that created a database because you needed a database. You
That's
didn't
true.
use a pre-existing database. You made a
Well,
database and
you're
changed.
making me seem a little more of a prodigy than I was. This was 8th grade computer science. I didn't know there was such a thing as a database. And so I was given a project. The middle school principal came to me and said, "I have this list of students here. I have this computer here. I shouldn't have to use paper anymore. How do I get this list of students in the computer?" And I didn't know that I could just type stuff into a database. So yes, I wrote a database in GW Basic using 64K of RAM and a
Mhm.
5.25-inch floppy disk.
Okay. I've withheld all comment to this point. And first thing I got to say is, Mark, bless your heart. Um, okay. So there, I turn and run from every spreadsheet that I come across in the wild. I don't, I would never think of that as being a sane way to do it. Just to give you an example, I looked at a number of houses before I bought the one I'm in now, and my realtor was almost in tears because he was so scared of the large animal that ran across the front steps as he was coming up to unlock the door for us, in this house. He just got scared really badly by it. He thought it was going to eat him. And yet, um, after I saw this house, then I went back and did a sheet, a regular sheet, notebook paper of pros and cons of
Paper?
why.
What
Yeah,
the heck? That's
no,
insane.
no scoring, no scoring, no prerequisites. These are post requisites. After I've seen it, then I just wrote out the pros and cons of the house. Um, and there were some cons that stuck, and I'm slowly fixing them. But um, this house has turned out great. It's been a good one, and as far as cars go, I just buy as many as possible, and then I just drive the ones I like and get rid of the ones I don't.
Okay, two things. This again proves last week when I said three completely different people. We are not going to be yes men about other stuff. But two, to be is very frank and very honest and very straightforward with you guys, no BS. I would love to do that spreadsheet for stuff, Mark, but I know, and I know me, and I know my wife, and I know I do it, boom, 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 the numbers, and the very first time I say, "Well, yes, but honey, this one scored a 3.2, and the other one only got a 2 point." She would then say, "You have no idea what you're talking about," and just move on and make the decision without me. So it would all be for nothing because I don't have enough, oh man, piss and vinegar to sit there and argue about this kind of thing. And I'll just say, uh, yeah, okay, sure.
Was your wife and children around when you developed the spreadsheet so that they have input into the variables?
The children know. They get no input. They go where we go. But the wife, absolutely.
Okay, and she's on board with your spreadsheets.
Absolutely.
Well,
And yeah,
that's good. That's good because
Okay.
she's seen the value of them over the last 20
Okay.
years we've been together.
And then I'm going to ask you to ask her, is she quote unquote on board with them or is she on board with them?
She tolerates them.
she
Okay.
tolerates. Yeah.
Well, hey, then again, if I'm going to guess in your head, you made a spreadsheet when you met your wife to rate what's the likelihood that we're going to be together for a long time and she will put up with my then only mental spreadsheets being turned into physical digital media?
It was a
Now,
very simple checklist. Girls who will date me, girls who won't. She was the one. So there was problem solved.
Problem solved.
okay, so how's the equation working out for you on the spreadsheet that tells you your podcast success in life? Was joining the AAA podcast? I know on the spreadsheet it looked good in the numbers. Is it really panning out though? I mean, is it getting as high value number as you thought it might have for you?
Well, sometimes you need more longitudinal data than just that. I don't know yet.
More research is needed.
As the Magic 8-ball would say, outlook cloudy. Try again later.
My my spreadsheet, I was just looking at it, and it's just like number signs and exclamation points. I don't, my cell is too small. Like once again,
Okay. Apparently I'm an insane man, so I accept
No.
that, and we'll move on.
No, you're just more sane. I don't have the.
I'm too too spontaneous. Maybe just too dumb to. Well, for one, I'm too dumb to make a spreadsheet. I'll give you that. And then two, to trust numbers that much. There's only one number I trust.
No, but it's not, like I said, it's not about making the decision. It's about helping you inform.
Right.
These are the things that you've already said are important. So it helps you back up with the things that you said are important.
And
Yeah,
one
see,
of the, go ahead.
I just hop in a car, put my hands on the wheel, and go. Move the wheel a little bit, move my butt a little bit the opposite way when I do that, and think, this car feels like crap, or man, I really like this car, and that's the end of my decision making, basically. And then I just turn to the guy and say, "Can I afford this?" And if he said yes, then we're going to move forward.
So
now
you
cars,
express-
cars, I have a testing scenario. I've got an exact test that I do for every car, and there's no sliding through these cracks. Usually, 99% of the times it works every time that I get a good car by using these variables.
So what you're saying, Dor, is that you don't make a spreadsheet before you go on vacation with the different dining options and attractions and various outings. You don't do that.
No, because I don't have a say in them.
Yeah, okay.
When I was young, when I was young, my mother said, "Pick your battles," which tells me pick very few of them for your highest chance of success.
No, see, when we're on vacation and we've been out at the beach and it's 4:30, it's not quite, dinner time, but it's really not lunchtime either, but we're hungry because we've been at the beach all day and we don't really know where we are and what's going on. I just whip out my phone, pull up Google Sheets and dial in the early dinner thing. I look at how we're dressed. Well, this is definitely casual dining, so I click the filter for casual dining and I get about 6 options. Then I filter those based on the geographic area of where we are, and I can say within 10 minutes we can go to these 3 places. And it just makes perfect sense.
Well, the one thing that would have to be on my spreadsheet for that is what is
genius.
the loudness of the place, because I'd have to immediately evaluate my children. How antsy are they? Because if they're really uppity, we're gonna have to go to a place that's really loud so they don't seem loud. Because I love my kids, but
I should try it, Mark. I should. I mean, that scenario you just gave was pretty good, but that's a lot of work to get all those restaurants in there ahead of time.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's part of the fun of the vacation is the planning.
Really?
No, just me? Okay.
No, to be honest, I'm taking our first family vacation this year, and my kids are both in high school. So that gives you some idea of where I'm coming from, which is weird. But so the only thing I've got planned so far is 2 days, 2 to 3 days of driving. I plan on driving to get there. I do have it planned where I'm staying when I get there, but other than that, nothing.
My theory is that the more planning you do ahead of time, the more spontaneous you can be at the time. So you can say, what do you feel like doing? Well, how about this? Well, I've got research for that. I know we're not standing around going, well, let's look up what's restaurants are around. Well, I don't really feel like seafood. I don't. So you're wasting time. You're burning time. And the more planning you do ahead of time, the more you can maximize your spontaneity. You have options, and they're ready to go. So, I like to
That's
have everything. I know, when I'm driving, particularly if it's a route I've done before, I know roughly when I'm going to need gas. I know what's around there. So it's not that I plan my stops at exactly 6:15 and 37 seconds. We'll stop here and it'll take 27 minutes to get gas. But it's like, all right, well, I know we're going to need gas here. So here's some fun things to do around this area for a nice little break. So you get to be spontaneous because you planned ahead.
Well,
that's a good pro tip because I can see myself after you just said that. I can see us spending 45 minutes a day trying to figure out where we're going to go eat, looking up on a phone or a tablet.
well, see, my ideal, and I really hate using that word, ideal vacation, um, is like a 2-week trip booked down Orlando, Disney World, on site in the park, bus, back and forth, so you don't have to worry about driving, for 2 weeks, all the food paid for, all the restaurant stuff paid for, and me home for the 2 weeks while the family goes down.
There you go.
Well, it's just because to me, a vacation is the most painful time of the year because it's the one time of year everywhere I look, I'm seeing all of my money just being thrown about, spewed about with with complete reckless abandon, just money being thrown and thrown. It's like throwing it at people's faces and throwing it at their feet and throwing it in their pockets and throwing it in their cars and throwing it in their houses and throwing it in their restaurants. And I'm just sitting there just feeling the anxiety because now I'm thinking, how long is it going to take me to work out of this debt? And I just can't take it. I
Okay,
just can't
since
take
we've
it.
totally gone down this road, I'm just going to break it entirely and say I came up with a theory about 15 years ago that I call the fair economics principle. And it's the economics of a state fair. So you go into a state fair and there's no money, it's all tickets. And you buy tickets at 3 for $1 or something like that. And you go to this booth, and a corn dog and a lemonade is 37 tickets, but you've forgotten that 37 tickets was 16.50. You don't remember anymore. And you go to this booth over here where it's 49 tickets. And then you get this great, awesome deal where at this place over here, the corn dog and the lemonade is only 26 tickets. But that's still $19 or something like that but you forget it. It's fair economics. It's an entirely new economics. And it's a brilliant scam because you buy your tickets when you walk in the door and they're completely worthless. How many people have not left the fair with at least one ticket in their pocket? That's free
Exactly.
money,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So vacations have a very similar economic structure because you're out someplace else, and it's just, we're going out to dinner for my family of five. That costs $300. Fair economics. You just have to accept that that's the cost of going on vacation.
Well, and I'm a guy, when I leave the fair mark, I don't leave with tickets. I stop and I turn to a random family and say, here's some tickets.
Right. Yes.
I try my best to pay
Yeah.
it forward.
But you still didn't use it.
No, I can't. It's impossible.
This might not be a fun vacation that I just planned. Maybe there's just a reason why I've never been on a vacation because I am not gonna go into debt. I don't even own a credit card to even try to go into debt. So I'm
Oh, well, then
yeah,
you are
it's
not living the
finite.
American dream.
Well, yeah, maybe not, but I'm not willing to. I mean, I've been there. Don't get me wrong. At one point in my life, I had a lot of credit card debt, and I've fought my way out of it, and I'll never go back. But I'm saving, so I'm saving for this trip, and I've got a couple bills that I'm way ahead on that I won't pay that month,
Well,
you know.
Eric, that's the right way to do it. And congratulations, because I look at you with envy, sir.
And that's where planning is important because you're going there with, make up a number, $5,000. You got to make sure that you can do everything you
Oh,
need to do for $5,000.
$5,000.
Yeah,
You know how
no,
much
it's
I
not.
can do for
That's not
5,000.
the right number, but
I just made up a number, like I said, whatever.
but I am going close to Disney World, but we're not going to Disney World. I'm going actually to Daytona, which I don't know. Seems like a good place to go. It's
Isn't that
America's beach.
kind of like going to the strip club but staying in the bathroom the whole time?
I don't know.
Well, it is. Just to let you know.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I polled the audience here, and I asked them. I go, while we're there, we're 40 minutes away. Does anybody want to go to Disneyland or World, whatever's there? And they said no.
Mm.
And I could go to Disney Avenue, which I heard is free, but pretty cool.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah.
Free to
Crazy
go.
It's free to go. Everything there is crazy expensive.
Fair economics.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know that we'll even. I think there's enough stuff in Daytona Beach that I would not even, need to leave that town or that area the whole time. Really.
All right, for those of you who are yelling at your podcast players or using the Castback app to leave feedback right now about how far this show has gone off the rails, I own that. I accept the responsibility for that. It's entirely my fault. I apologize for it. Now we will move on. I think it's Eric's turn to bring an app.
Well, wait, one more thing though. Send me the template for that, would you? Okay, so I'm gonna bring since I don't I'm not going here for vacation. I figured I'd bring the app that's called Texas. Well, I don't even know what it's called. Hold on a second. It's called Texas State Parks Official Guide. In case somebody's going there for their vacation, this way they can plan it out ahead of time and learn about everything possible about all the state parks in Texas. This
Hey,
is
Eric.
Yeah.
The stars at night are big and bright.
I don't know, something deep in the heart of Texas. I only know that from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Me too.
There's no basement in the Alamo.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah. That's good.
Did you guys watch the new one yet?
No.
On Netflix?
Scared to.
Oh, it's great. I mean, it's good. I mean, for kids, whatever. It's good for me. I liked it. Anyway, Texas State Parks has an official guide app. And I'd imagine, I don't know, I haven't really looked, but I'm guessing most states would probably be doing this soon if they haven't yet. Texas is pretty progressive. They've got Austin and they've got a lot of tech, so they probably are leaders in this. I can't see Illinois doing it because we don't do anything except for walk around moping why we don't have any money. But
well, Texas has money. That is one thing. Texas does have money, and because of Texas's girth, yeah, they have a good amount of state parks.
Yeah, South Llano River looks like fun. Just looking at the screenshots of this.
Well, they're not going to take bad pictures of the place. I mean, really.
Yeah, well, just the name though. Now there's certain names that you're not going to want to go, like Government Canyon and Goose Island. Goose Island to me is like, you better not slip and fall while you're there. You know what I mean? You ever been around geese? They're nasty. They're gross. Okay. That was my app.
You just randomly pulled the Texas state parks. I mean, not going to Texas, not from Texas, just thought that would be interesting.
Yeah. For someone, I'll probably go to Texas at some point and maybe use this app. Have you ever listened to the show where Door brings like some random art museum in Sweden app? Okay, this is better than that, I think.
I didn't say. I'm just confused. That's all.
I think he's just trying to get on your good side, Mark.
I have been to many of these places.
Have you been to Goose Island?
I have not.
Barefoot?
I will say this. If you're planning a summer vacation, don't go to any state park in Texas.
Exactly.
Just
You
don't
die.
go to the state of Texas in the summer. Just don't.
I had a buddy who did hot tar roofing in Texas during the summertime.
Mm.
He literally lost like 120 pounds first year.
That's not all bad.
Having grown up there, I can tell you that in a middle of July or early August, the streets get so hot that the tar remelts, and you're literally sticking to it as it as you're walking or driving.
I like heat. You know, the last time I went to Daytona, it was in August, and I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, but that's the
It's
other thing. You do know at Disney, okay? At Disney World, you pay money. You have a day of NASCAR training and you get to drive a NASCAR around the track. You do know
no,
that. No, yes,
no,
you do.
I didn't know that.
Well, guess what? That's why Disney has everything.
Hmm.
Disney's racetrack experience is better than going to a racetrack. I'm just saying. Eric.
Door, bring your non-game app for us.
Okay, my non-game app. This is not an app for Door, but this is an app I can see, to be honest, being at least a little bit popular with at least like college campuses, maybe, especially if you're anywhere around the Baltimore area or urban area. It's called Companion Safety App. I don't want to be a stranger danger kind of guy, but in reality, sometimes random bad things do happen to people when they're by themselves and out and about at night. What this app will let people do is reach out to family or friends, or if you're in college, with the campus police. And if you have to walk a distance to your car or to your door or to a different place at night, you can load this app, and they will basically help keep you. I don't want to say keep you safe. They will keep a track of you, and in case of a emergency, in one click you can sound the alarm, call for help.
Oh, that's nice. I think it's that's a great great app. You know,
Well,
if I was a fraidy
again,
cat, I'd use it all the time.
well, yeah, again, it isn't a Door app. I'm never going to load it, but if I was a young person in college in a town I wasn't deeply familiar with, I would probably find a lot of comfort in an app like this.
The
Yeah,
reviews indicate that it doesn't always work.
it only has to work when it. I mean, they wouldn't be leaving the reviews if it didn't work that badly. You know what I'm saying?
That reminds me of an XKCD cartoon where he's got people reviewing a tornado warning app, and 5 stars, beautiful app. 5 stars, excellent design. Didn't drain my battery. One, 400 of those. One review says 1 star, didn't warn of tornado. And that's kind of how I feel these just looking at the reviews, the things that it's supposed to do, like, I don't know, send messages, it doesn't seem to do. Just saying.
I got to give them kudos though on these the negative reviews. They are coming right back and talking to the people and at least trying to make it right. And looks like they're trying to help.
Yeah, it is a newer app. I will say that it's only been out for, I get the impression, maybe a couple months. So hopefully it's just a growing pains thing, and they will get better. But this is the kind of app I want to get better. And again, not for me, just because it's a good app to have, or you know what I mean, good idea of an app to have.
Right.
All right. Eric, you got another one?
I do. Yeah, we'll go with this one. This was suggested by one of the listeners. I think it was either via email or Google Plus posting, and this one is called I don't know why my browser keeps it's called Basketfall instead of basketball. Basketfall. Let me find I'm having browser issues today, or just
Are you on Windows?
maybe.
That's why.
So basketball is basically it's kind of like a basketball game. You got a basketball hoop, and then it's sort of a cut the rope kind of thing too, because there's a basketball swinging by a rope, and you just got to tap at the right time to get it to drop into the hoop down below. You can bounce it off the sides of the screen. I like the way it uses the screen and kind of really zooms in, and when it bounces off the sides and ricochets and things. It's just it's a simple game but fun.
Okay. I didn't have a chance to look at it yet. Just going by what you said, it almost sounded almost like a reverse frozen bubble. Because frozen bubble from the bottom up, you shoot bounce off walls to hit balloons. This is top down, drop it. Man, this definitely does not look super easy. Where you gotta, it is a definite timing game with a lot of ricochet action going on. Man,
Yeah, with physics. I always
Yeah.
love a good physics engine.
The
man.
first level, and it's funny because it makes you feel like a superstar right off the bat. Because the very first one, I literally I think you can tap it anywhere and it ricochets just perfectly to get it in there, just to bump up your level of confidence, and then you move forward, and it does get much harder.
Mm. Dude, this does not look easy. Yeah, looks good though. Completely no. There is in-app purchases, free to download, free to install. Top developer, Komobusi. I don't even know how to pronounce that one.
Kumobius?
Badang. There you go. You're gonna pay raise from somebody. I don't know.
Yay! This one gets a lot better reviews than the last one.
And I have one more email / app from Charles Surrett. Haven't done much with it, but I was able to remap my headset button to neck track instead of play pause. There are a lot of variations on the theme there of things that let you set tasks for your phone, but this one is called the Automate app by Llama Labs.
I believe that was an oldie.
We had to have brought this one before.
Well, just the word rings a ridiculously strong bell in my head.
Yeah. I can't find my my spreadsheet, but Automate. I know I've heard of it, and I've
It
heard
was
of Llama.
Automate It that I heard from you guys way back when.
Yeah.
But this doesn't look what's interesting is it's sort of like the object oriented programming that you have kids do in second grade. There are different puzzle pieces and you connect them together to do your coding. So, you know, when you're at this location, drag the block in that says enable Wi-Fi, and then drag the box in that says kill data. And so it's a visual way to create tasks, much more user friendly than the geeky syntax of some of the others I've used.
Yeah, we have not brought this.
Nope. I do know we did bring something llama related, and I don't know why. For some reason, llama really stuck in my head.
Goat stimulators, probably.
No, llama location profiles might have been like a predecessor to this, maybe based upon the same code base. That was a event driven thing um by GPS. So it definitely was not as deep as this. This definitely looks more impressive than that app.
Yeah, this looks like a visual way to do Tasker, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, and I will say I do like the interface. The easier, quicker it is for me to comprehend these kinds of things, the better. Because to me, that was what Tasker to me extremely lacked at, was to digest the interface to become productive with it was a hurdle. Was definitely a hurdle to get over. And this looks, if you don't get this one, you might be suffering from a affliction or condition.
Oh, it would still confuse me, dude. I when it comes to programming, it could spell itself out for me if it has to do with coding in any way. I'm just like, ugh. So this yeah, but the things you can do with it. I mean, if you've got like a device that you feel is getting slow, you can use Automate to just clear your cache every day at a certain time, or do a shutdown or a reboot in the middle of the night when you're not using it automatically, so you don't have to worry about it. Things like that. I imagine you could probably use it to turn on Bluetooth when you get in your car, maybe stuff like that. Or when you
The
leave,
things I've done
Wi-Fi.
with those is, send my text message a wife. Man, my brain is not working tonight. Send my wife a text message when I'm leaving work. So when I leave that geo fence, she knows that, between the hours of, say 3:30 and 5:30, she knows I'm coming home. I stopped doing that when I got my girlfriend, and every time I went to visit her, my wife found out about it. But things like that are the reason that you would use that app.
Did she ever? Did she always think it was you just texting her, or did she catch on that, hey, that you might be doing something automatically here?
Oh no, she knew that it was. Well, actually, that's a good question. I mean, we talked about the fact that it was automated, but she may have thought I was sending the exact same text every day at the same time. I've never asked her.
Oh
Well,
yeah, that's something I wouldn't have told her about her earlier. I think
well,
myself.
well, every time I pull up to my wife's place of work to pick her up after work, 'cause we carpool, I open up Voxer, and this is really the most anal, stupid thing anyone can do with Voxer. I open up Voxer, I open up her chat, I click in the text beneath it, my keyboard pops up, I hold down my spacebar on my keyboard, and then I voice dictate a message. Every single day, it's the exact same message, and that's just how I talk. I'm a creature of habit, and when I pull up, I, in my head, think the exact same thing every day. Hello, hun, comma, I'm outside whenever you're ready. Bang. And that's what it says every single day. Because some days we don't chit chat a lot because all we got to do is turn to each other and talk. Um, so I see sometimes 2 or 3 days in a row, it is the exact same message every day.
Hmm.
This is
Yeah,
cool.
I do usually try to call home before I leave. See if you guys need anything, except for the days that they do when I don't. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Of course. Yeah. Okay. I just got to say real quick, this is a very cool looking app, and this is a really cool idea, but mm, I'm thinking this is a door thing. I don't find anything that this app could do that tells me I need it. I'm not overly stressed with when I get home, pulling down my notification tray and turning on my Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not overstressed by that. I'm not overstressed when I leave my job and I want to send my wife a text. I can just send her a text. Just like in home automation, Internet of Things, I'm perfectly fine with walking across my room and flicking a switch. I can't think of a single use case with home automation that I think I want to do, and just like automation on my Android device. The only thing I do automatically is when I add a thing to my, um, Pocket with a certain tag, it gets appended to a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of I do that is an automatic thing.
You've got a little phone utopia going. So other people have real problems with their devices, and say they're not getting signal. This would you could set it up to check for to reset your cell towers. Some people have to do that often to get things working correctly. You've got your stuff dialed in pretty good where this is to fix a problem. If you've got a problem, this can help you. This is a workaround. It could be a workaround so that you don't have to manually do this. If your phone's annoying you because you have to do this stupid thing that you shouldn't have to do all the time, but you have to do it, you could use this so you don't personally have to do it anymore.
Yes. Oh, no.
I have no comment on this. You were just talking about not talking to your wife. Today, as we were driving around the houses, my wife was contradicting the GPS, saying, "No, you really should turn left," or when it would say turn right, really. And I, I call my phone Andrea. She's a personal friend. And at some point, just jokingly, I said, "I'm tired of you countermanding Andrea. You've been undermining her all day long. If you two can't find a way to work it out, this relationship just isn't going to work." And my daughters were in the car, and she was like, "Really, Andrea is important to you?" I said, "Well, most days she talks to me more than your mommy does."
Oh! Oh, jeez, Mark.
Wow.
That's pretty funny. I'm just happy I'm not the only one.
I mean, yeah, now that you mention it, I guess there is kind of something to that. When we're working these kind of hours and things, there are days, but I don't use GPS at all to get to anywhere. So, she doesn't talk to me much
And when
either.
you live in a metro area like I do, you need it, even if you know exactly where you're going, for the accident and traffic updates.
Yeah.
I run the GPS constantly, even if it's just running down the store to the street for some milk, because anything could happen between here and there, and the GPS will know it before I do.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely could see that, but that is not applicable to this area
Right.
whatsoever.
Yeah, it happened today. It only happens every week or two to me. I'm driving home and it pops up and prompts me and says, there is a accident on 95 North. There is a faster route if you get off on exit 43. Do you accept? Ding, hell yes, I do. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I should. That's a dumb question. Just do it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I got annoyed by that the other day. I was coming back from a place called Lyle, Illinois, shout out. And I didn't want to take the interstate. I just wanted to take some, a good highway that I knew went directly to my home because that road number.
Still
is
playing
in
mobile
my
gaming
town.
this way?
But
You will
just
never have a blast with this little tiny
one
screen.
close to the other.
With a co-player, you can play Android
But I didn't
apps
wanna
on
be
your
on the
computer.
interstate.
It fully supports Google Play.
On the interstate, you can see
4 features that make you love co-player.
So
Countless downloadable games are free to play. Crisp display on bigger computer screen. Streamlined controls by keyboard mapping.
Or it ran out
This
of,
is the one.
speeding me up by 16 minutes to do anything different. I mean, it was well intentioned. It was going to cost me more for tolls, and it wasn't really saving me that much time.
So one last thing, and then we'll end this train wreck. But when you're going from Atlanta back to Texas, where I'm from, there's really only 2 instructions. It's get on Highway 20 and turn right. And so when you're going around, you go around the loop in Birmingham, and the GPS says the most soul sucking thing to you: continue forward for 497 miles.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you just want to pluck an eyeball out.
That's nice though, because then you don't have to hear her for
Right.
that long.
Well, no, because then every whatever you're going to look at it and thinking, is it still running? Is it still working? Is this thing on? Hello, is this thing on? Just make sure.
Every time you stop for gas or to pull over for a Big Mac, she yells at you.
Yeah.
In 300 feet, turn left. No, I need to pee. I don't need to turn left.
Yeah. Make a U-turn.
All right, guys, I'm calling it. We're well over an hour of just rambling randomness. So let's end with our closing thoughts. Eric, what words of wisdom from the CEO?
I'm going to say, send me the template. I need to get my act together before I take a vacation.
Okay, I don't know that I really have a
Please.
template, but I can build something for you.
Awesome. And I will share it with the family. We will work on this together because we all need to learn spreadsheets.
Door, what about yourself?
Yeah, I'm going to squeeze one more in just because that's the way I am.
Oh, I was going to too, but
Look, stop. CoPlayer, KOPLAYER.com. It's not an app. It's an emulator you can run on Windows or Mac where you can emulate Android and play games on it. So if you want to play those higher end games that we talk about every now and then, and your Android device will not support it, put this thing on your laptop or your desktop. It will map the keys so you can do WASD or gamepad support and play yourself some of them high end games.
The website's not working for me. Are you sure that's the right URL?
KOPlayer.com. That's where I'm at right now.
All right, Dor. One quick one, real quick. I'm sorry.
And it isn't loading anymore. So
This
I guess Podnutz just took it down.
This is not an app either. But Twitch now works on BlueStacks for streaming Android games for everybody to watch.
That's when BlueStacks decides to work. Yes, that's a low blow from yours truly, DoorToDoorGeek.
Okay. I just wanted to throw that out there if you've been wanting to broadcast your awesome Android gaming.
Yeah, CoPlayer is down.
We took it down. Oh man.
Sure, yeah.
Down for everyone or just me says it's not just you.
No.
That just proves how popular this is going to be.
Mm.
I'm guessing, maybe. I don't know.
I bet Twitch is still up for now though, but you better hurry up and get over there.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, everyone, for downloading. Thank you, everyone, for supporting this show and this network.
All right. And that's it. Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. We'll see you next week because that's it for this episode of the Android App Addicts.
Yeah. I swear that site was working 2 minutes ago.
Stopping Audacity.
Exactly. Okay. File. Save project. And this was
428.
428. Oh, man. Seems so close to taking off tomorrow. I had 6.5 hours of meetings today.
I shouldn't say that. I've had 6.5 hours of meetings after 5 o'clock this week.
And I came so close to putting in a leave sheet that I looked, and last second my manager sent a meeting request tomorrow for 10 a.m. I'm like, oh, jeez.
Good thing you guys are going to get that hashed out, though. It's about time.
I don't even know what the meeting's about. I know I just don't like.
You don't
People
like what?
who call meetings on Friday afternoons, they should be banned.
Well, this was 10:30, which was better.
Okay.
Yeah, because if any meeting is after 3:30 or 4, I just straight up decline it. I don't care anymore. And even if it came from the CIO, I'm declining. And she'll say why. I say because you're endangering my pickup time for my wife when I carpool. And I said, and then I followed up. I'll be happy to give you her phone number and you can explain it to her. Just proving how much of a sissy I am, but that's okay because
That is not proving a sissy. That's
Oh.
standing up for yourself. I work. I did 2 11-hour days and a 12-hour day. I get paid nothing extra this week, and now because I went to Lyle for a meeting I really didn't need to go to. Now that I've been there, I've got to. I don't know if I'll get all my work done tomorrow from this week that needs to get done. And I'm so far behind. But I don't really want to work overtime to get it done. For one, because I don't get paid for it. But two, I'd just like to have a job where I can get my work done in the time I'm allowed it there. But
anytime I hear some kid, and it's usually a kid or an immature adult, talking about working there 40 hours a week or already put in my 8, I'm like, what a joke. Outside of the McJob industry, if you're not wearing a hairnet, you're not working 8 hours a day.
Well, I think that's one of the differences with this country, Mark. America, to only work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week is not the norm. And to work 50 weeks a year is, most people, I think, work more than that.
mm-hmm.
In this country, where I think in other countries, they kind of don't do that.
Oh, yeah, difffinitely.
Oh, no.
We are workers in America. That's faux show.
Yeah. And did I tell you my boss? He worked at Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, U.S. Marines. He's been around. I told him how I literally sat down twice with a major multi-billion-dollar company last year, and I said to them, I get 6 weeks vacation a year right now.
And we'll never know.
We're going to take one of those weeks right at the second. Maybe he was talking to us.
Could be.
Like, I don't need you guys. I'm on vacay.
I'm out of here.
Sorry.
What operating system?
Yep.
Oh, I'm muted. Sorry. Yeah. So I said to them, I get 6 weeks vacation a year. How can you compete with that? And they didn't even hesitate. They just said, "Oh, we can't." And then my boss said, "You're an idiot." He said, you work for a company like that, if you make yourself available to them like you should, which is more than 40 hours a week, yada, yada, yada. He said, when you have to take off, they don't care. As long as you take a cell phone with you, as long as you can connect, as long as you can help out if something breaks or goes down or whatever. He said, so you can have off as much time as you want, as long as you're there when they need you.
That is 100% my gig. Yes.
And not trying to sound dumb, which makes me just sound dumb by saying I'm not trying to sound dumb. I've been in this state thing for 20 years. I don't know that. You know what I mean? I don't. Well, why didn't you tell me that before?
Yeah, there is nowhere written how much vacation time I get a year, nor will anybody really argue that I deserve it or need it, and should probably not be there sometime at some point.
Well, I'm trying to.
I guess I'm just a little old fashioned. You show up early, you stay late, and you work the whole time you're there.
Yeah. There's nobody putting in as many hours a week as I do there. But that's what we get paid the big money for. Like, that's why I got a special parking place that says city clerk parking only. Cadillac parked in that spot.
Is it a janky 1983 Cadillac?
It is a janky 2003 Cadillac.
Yeah, one of my friends, I used to tease him for driving his fancy Lexus. It was like the first Lexus ever. One of the doors was like duct taped on, but I still made fun of him for driving the Lexus.
Well, that's the thing, man. Some of those Lexuses is amazing how much miles you can put on those first ones.
I think Lex I is the official.
Yeah, I go for that.
Lexan.
Yeah, because my buddy at work, his Lexus is like the third year they were made. I want to say 300,000 miles on that thing. And he loves it too. He says, I'm never giving it up until it dies on me. And then when it does, I'm going to have a proper funeral.
So if Alex wins the Powerball tomorrow, is he gonna buy Podnutz and then hire you as CEO, Door? That's what I'm wondering in the chat. He must be. He's gonna buy Podnutz from you and then hire you back as CEO. Hey, I would like to be a manager of something.
I'm sure you would.
I can manage something. I can manage.
It wouldn't be my choice. It'd be Alex's choice.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Alex,
I'm not good at making choices.
Tell me what I need to manage. Hire me on. I will manage the crap out of it.
Powerball, lottery. I love those because for $1 you get to dream all day long.
Yep.
Or all week long.
What I don't like about them was when I was one of those, literally, this is how naive I was when I was younger, Mark. Until I realized, wait a minute, I'm just paying voluntary taxes. That's all I'm doing. I'm just freely, voluntarily walking into a place and giving money to the government. What the hell is wrong with me?
This is the first time in
bad at math.
This is the first time in my life I've only had one job at a time, other than, I guess if I consider podcasting a job, that doesn't qualify. But normally I would have 2 or 3 jobs, one full-time job and a couple part-times. My first part-time job, my second part-time job was at a gas station, and just working there, watching people buy lottery tickets was enough to tell me I will never do that. I could not believe the money they were spending on lottery tickets in there.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
I happened to be in a store one time buying gas, and this guy won a scratch off for something like $15,000, and he was just jumping up and down and said, "You don't have any idea how much I need this. I was broke. I didn't have any money. This was my last dollar." Well, what were you spending it on a lottery ticket for, you moron?
Well, I can tell you, my uncle my uncle in New York was spending $80 a day on lottery. And when he won something like 5,000, he was telling my mom how, hey, yeah, I won. And my mom, in her gift of speech, called him all kinds of names, you dumb blah, 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 blah. No, you didn't. You just earned back a little fraction of the money that you lost.
Yeah. Like people play 99% slots, they're the highest slots. They're guaranteed to take 1% of your money. How is that a good thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a gambler. I don't like gambling.
I knew
like
a
my
guy
money.
who won, it was like $5,000 on a scratch off just that he bought, on a whim one day. And he put 3,000 of it in a savings account, and that was his lottery fund. So every lottery ticket he bought for the rest of his life came out of that $3,000. He was literally playing with house money at that point.
Yeah.
So every week he'd buy $50, $60, $70. And, over the course of time, the account would dwindle and rise up again and dwindle and rise up. But he enjoyed the act of scratching off those tickets, and it was literally costing him nothing. I think that's the smartest I've ever heard anybody do it.
That is.
I do know a guy who would scratch lottery tickets every day for hours. And you know what? He ended up actually winning $1 million at some point. He won $1 million scratch off. But he probably had paid close to that in, I'm guessing. And he kept working. He was my mechanic for a long time, and that was just what he did. And he kept mechanicking. He never changed his lifestyle at all. Just kept scratching and kept working on cards.
The two things is I'll quote one of the best lottery slogans I've ever heard, which is "Gotta play to win," which is true. But also, I know statistically, every single one of those games are specifically designed to every dollar that's taken in, 50 cents gets paid out, which is in some societies considered near criminal odds.
You know what else? You have to play to lose.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for every day for so many years, I'd go down to the store for my mom. 306, 50, 50, 317, 50, 50, 10, 14.
Oh yeah.
And then
that was
scratch offs. And then
that was the thing that got me at the gas station was box and straight and all this stuff and
yeah. And then every day when I came home with that and the gallon of milk, my mom would take the tickets and rub them on my head and say, "Bring me luck, bring me luck." And every now and then she would win good money, and we would go down to Toys R Us.
Nice. I remember going down to the store and buying cigarettes for my mom back in the day. No problem. It's fine. 8-year-olds on a bicycle, you can sell them cigarettes all day back then.
They didn't care. Just give me the money.
As long as you said it was for your mom, it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like $1.15, I want to say, was the cheapest I remember buying them for her.
Oh no, these were when I started smoking, I could get packs for $1.
Yeah, but I do remember her saying at bingo horn, that once they come $1, I'm gonna have to quit this.
Yeah. My mom said that if she told herself when she was young that if gasoline ever went over $1, she would walk.
Yeah. Buy that for $1.
She still smokes to this day. And they're like, I don't think they're like $5-6 a pack now, I think.
Oh yeah, they're crazy now. Oh, let me rephrase it.
And she doesn't walk.
Expensive.
She drives. So
of course, the dollar is the worst metric possible. I heard in college, what's that class? Economics professor said the coolest metric I ever heard is you look at buying power in terms of loaves of bread, and it's really pretty much been the same since the Roman days.
Right.
A day of work buys the same amount of loaves of bread today as it did in the year 1.
Huh.
Just, with variations, 10, 12% variations. You compare a gallon of gas to a loaf of bread, they've been roughly the same cost, or maybe 1.5 to 1 forever.
Yeah. One always goes up a little bit, then the other one catches up, and constantly. And then the value of $1 changes, and they both change
So yeah,
constantly.
gas may be $4 a gallon, but you're paying $3.50 for a loaf of bread at the same time.
Well, and it makes sense that everything in this country, at least, is always going to be affected by gas prices because tractor trailers is how everything gets to where it
Amen.
gets.
All right, guys, you should have my file door.
Yep,
And
I believe I saw it.
I got to go. Taking my kids to the aquarium tomorrow. That'll be fun. But also, I expect every other parent in the Atlanta area will be taking their kids to the aquarium tomorrow. And for somebody who's a bit agoraphobic, no, agoraphobic's not the right word. That means
I know what you mean.
wide open spaces. I don't like crowds.
Yeah. Say something. You would never want to go to the Baltimore aquarium. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
Okay,
One of the houses that we looked at today, I walked into the shower and I was like, nope, not buying this house. Can't even think about standing in that one. Nope. All right, see you guys.
All right, man. Oh, damn. Modified. Come on. Okay. So fresh 428.
Yeah, when I quit smoking, it was all I gauged myself on jeans. Like, you know what? I could have bought a pair because I always dressed like crap. I never had any good clothes. And I'm like, man, you know what? I could have bought a pair of jeans with the money I just spent on these 2 packs of smokes today.
Yeah, I've been quit now for 2.5 years, 2 years, 5 months, something like that. Yeah, I'm really just in shock how much money it cost. I'm like, dude, that's literally a lunch every day.
Co-pliers back up.
And
Thank you,
and
chat
I mean,
room.
thank you. Yeah, and I mean, I used to smoke too much.
Did you smoke 2 packs a day?
When I drove the state near tractor trailer, if it was 1 inch longer, I would have had to have a CDL license truck. When I drove that around, I sometimes smoked 4 packs a day.
Wow.
When I didn't do that, normal days, I smoked 2 packs a day.
Yeah, when I was delivering bread, I should have quit smoking then. That would have been the perfect because it was such a change. I went from, I mean, I used to have my own office with an ashtray on my desk,
Right.
and smoking was just so easy. There was
Yep.
never a place that I was at that I couldn't smoke, ever. I mean, not even 1 hour of the day would I not be able to smoke. Then I got the bread truck route. That's when I should have quit, and I didn't. I tried to when I was doing security and busting shoplifters, and I tried the patch, and I tried everything. None of them worked.
Right. So I thought this was for Mac too, this KO player, but it doesn't look like it is. Well, what I don't understand is free download. Click there. It's a .exe file. What the hell is at the top? Home APK download. What? Oh, to search for the games. Huh. So I guess there's no paid games on this.
Download free Android games and apps.
Yes, I guess there's no paid games on this. Or maybe in-app purchases. I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, Clash of Clans. There's going to be a lot of in-app purchases there.
Yeah. You're right.
What is this? Just another app store?
No, it's a emulator, desktop emulator. So if your phone can't play the high-end games, you load this on your desktop.
Or if you don't want to put this junk on your phone.
Yeah, true. Or you just want it on a bigger screen. Now. I could see putting this on a laptop and having fun.
SCJ in the chat room's like, I wonder if there's a way to load Google Now Launcher on it.
No, it will be pointless too anyway.
And then you can have your cards on your.
No, because all this is you just load it and it launches the one thing, and that's it. For the launcher to be useful, you'd have to have Google Play services, Google Play framework, Google Play Store, and everything else that goes with it, and the ability to install apps from inside of it.
Oh, he's got a Kindle Fire 5th Gen where you can't have Google Now Launcher on it.
Well, if it's the one that my kids have, you can. It's got a pain in the ass. I mean, a legitimate pain.
Now, how's X-ray body scanner going to work on your computer as a X-ray body scanner app? You're going to take your monitor and put your camera, your webcam backwards.
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you scroll down through those apps, the bottom right one under free top free apps is X-ray body scanner.
Hell,
I can see it working on a phone. I don't know how that would work on a desktop.
got me, man. Me stupid.
Ooh, what's this? Dimensional 3D floor picture. Oh, pictures. Oh, no. Never mind. That is not what I was thinking. Those are cool, though. Don't get me wrong. I like chalk art on the ground that makes it look cool, but at the right angle.
Yeah, that is like truly art. Just in order to be able to mentally know how to do it.
Okay. Yeah, mission accomplished. I mean, Google Now Launcher is one here. It is. I typed in Google. I typed in
Really?
now. Yeah, it says play on PC or download the APK.
My guess is the only thing you can use it for is the Google Now cards.
I'm gonna play it on the PC and see what happens.
Because there's no way you're going to have access to the Google Play framework and stuff. I mean,
And I don't see it doing anything.
I'll tell you, that's one of the hard things about any of these emulators, which is why I always make fun of BlueStacks. BlueStacks is now 5 years old, and when it first came out, it was such a pile of junk. Nothing worked on it because it's hard. It is really hard, and the hardest thing to do is what this thing says it can do, which is the higher end graphics. It's easy to do just basic stuff and fake compasses and geosensors and mics. It's not easy to do that graphics. Oh man, I forgot something. Damn it. Okay, where's mine?
Cleaning out the old box there, huh?
Me?
You clean out your own cloud?
No, just that one folder. Every now and then I just realize I don't need all that crap in there.
You checking out this this link that
No, I'm editing the show.
Andy. It's another emulator. Use your phone as the remote control when playing games on your computer. Temple Run 2.
And there's one by AMD, not AMD, American Megatrends. Has an emulator too, which supposedly has made a lot of headroom here. Last, they're the people who used to make BIOSes. They were the BIOS company.
So I don't get co-player. I hit play on PC and nothing happens. Did you get anything to play on here?
Me?
Yeah.
What do you think?
No.
No, it's Windows. I don't have Windows.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's I didn't. Okay. I was thinking they were playing in the browser for some reason. That exe is just sitting down there waiting for me to install it. All right.
Ah.
There. like why ain't these? That should just open up and do a new.
And you said to Mark, "Ain't you special?" Or what, right?
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart. And you said to Mark, "Bless your heart."
Windows Smart Screen prevented an unrecognized app from starting. Running this app might put your PC at risk.
Dude, hey, we are still streaming, and I don't care. I'm going to admit this to you, Eric, and people listening. I almost want to get out of IT right now. I almost want to just mop floors.
Because there's just so many attacks coming from everywhere, or
no, because Microsoft is going to screw everything up everywhere. I mean, they already have been screwing everything up everywhere, but they're going to screw everything completely up because they're doing this, releasing the Bash shell on Windows. I don't want to be anywhere around it. At the same token, I'm halfway tempted to install a pirated version of Windows because I don't own any versions of Windows, just to see the Bash shell on Windows.
Well, I have a laptop upstairs that's hooked up to a monitor, and it says you're running an unregistered illegal version of Windows on it, even though that computer came stock with Windows 8 and should have been a free upgrade to Windows 10, and they suck in that way too.
Right. I told the wife that I'm tempted to just get a different job. What do you mean? Well, yeah.
Oh man, SCJ 643. You're quit making doors head big.
Well, my wife basically said to me very straightforward, "You tell me another place you can go and get paid as much as you're getting paid, and then I'll be okay with it." She said, "Because you ain't going to find a place. You're not going to find a place where you're getting paid as much as you're getting paid. So no, you have to stay in."
Yeah, that's one good thing. But I could go literally anywhere and get paid when I'm getting paid. I could, well, I mean, honestly, there's not. I get paid so little that it would not be hard to do that for me.
Well, yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, but jobs aren't any and everywhere up there.
It's getting better.
Oh, that's good.
We've actually got hopefully some good jobs coming around. I'll be where I'm at until people tell me we're tired of you. And I really could see myself working in my job forever. Until it's not up to me.
Right. Well, honestly, because I don't even know. I would love to hear a legitimate person from Microsoft who got, let's say, fired this past week come out and say why he believes Microsoft is doing what it's doing with basically putting the Linux kernel and Bash on Windows. Because I keep hearing it's for Linux development tool chains.
What's that?
Basically, 99% of credible web development is not on a Windows web server. It's on a Linux web server. But also the tool chain, the workflow chain of development, deploying to test, deploying to QA, deploying to production in automated fashions is really only on Linux. It's a system, basically a process called DevOps, where you can automatically redeploy into multiple systems with very minimal effort, where in Windows to deploy is tedious, ridiculously tedious. So there's a lot of development things that are basically not in Windows right now. A lot of people believe that's the reason why you're doing it. And my job is in the software development group. You know what I mean? And I would like to be able to actually do some amount of software development again. But I told my boss, I told my CIO, I told everyone involved, I will never learn anything .NET or C#. And they were like, one of them was like, why is it too hard? The other one was like, why? Because it's, too complex. And they're all saying all these things. And I says, because it's cancer. That's why. And as soon as you think you know it, they're going to change it on you. And it's not really a development programming language. It's a set of building blocks. It's like Legos. It's development for stupid people. And the CIO, the manager, they never developed. So they just sit there and like disbelief. And I say, how much do you have to pay one of these developers? Okay. Now stop. Now Java's a real programming language. How much do you have to pay one of those developers? You have to pay them more, right? Like a lot more, right? Yeah. You know why? Because that's a real programming language. C# is not. .NET is not.
Right.
Like, oh, well, I guess that makes sense why they don't cost as much. Yeah, because you don't have to know as much. It's basically the idiot-proof development platform. And of course, the .NET developers who are in the group, oh man, they hate when I say that. Oh man, they hate it. Oh well, get over it. Okay, that audio is good. Your audio is really good lately, Eric.
Yeah, I've been really trying to get up in my mic.
I tell you, it's really solid, I think. Because I don't know, either people got tired of complaining to me about your audio, or I believe your audio is actually better.
Well, I got the boom, and I did pump up my volume a little bit.
Yeah, up is good. And I am doing one or two little things in post that I think can only help, but I don't think by itself it's doing close to as much as what you've done. Okay. Now, video 95% done. Mono is the open source implementation of the .NET compiler. C# is open. C# you can write in anything on any platform, but to compile it to the runtime on Windows, you use the Windows .NET. On Linux or on Mac, you can use Mono. Mono was just bought by Microsoft not that long ago either, maybe a month ago. And the people who developed the Mono, everyone I heard that did said it worked. It worked decent. It worked good. So this is it, Eric.
Yeah.
So it is giving you a full Android desktop. This amazes me. Every emulator I've ever seen, you literally just load from the Windows side the thing you want to run, and it just runs.
I'm trying to find.
And it has a Play Store too. Okay, so I guess you don't have a touch screen, do you?
No.
Okay. Yeah, don't show this, Eric. Okay, I'm gonna stop streaming.
What's your Gmail account?
Now's a good time to stop streaming. Thanks everyone for watching.